Happening now after a local school's treasurer admits to stealing funds, the latest efforts to help prevent the crime from happening again. And homeowners in Jamestown could soon get funding to help fix up their properties. Plus, how a Chautauqua County woman is helping the war effort in Ukraine by bringing guns to those standing up to Russia.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
State and county taxpayers will be asked to commit $850 million in public funds towards the construction of the new Buffalo Bills Stadium. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. We start with breaking news. I'm Justin Gould. It has been a state projected price tag of $1.4 billion. It's as part of a 30-year lease agreement which was reached today. New York State will now commit $600 million in funds, which will be included in the budget, according to Governor Kathy Hochul, who announced the news in a press release. Erie County, according to Hochul, is slated to submit $250 million towards the project, with the NFL and Buffalo Bills committing $550 million in financing. The dollar amount is considered to be the largest public commitment for an NFL facility. The deal is meant to secure the NFL's long-term future in Buffalo, with the proposed 60,000-plus seat facility to be built across the street from the current stadium. Although the taxpayer burden of 60% is considered high, the agreed-upon funding falls in line historically. The state and county have shared about 73% of the cost to build, maintain, and upgrade the Bills' existing facility, which is now called Highmark Stadium. That first opened in 1937. We'll, of course, continue to provide updates on this breaking story throughout the day at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather today. Of more local news that we're going to talk about this half hour. But Dakota, nevertheless, the weather's on the top of minds of many as we had a little slick travel in some spots this morning.
Yeah, winter, as we told you on Friday, was going to be coming back. And here are the snowfall totals over the past 24 hours. This encompasses Sunday, last night, and then through this morning. Almost 6 inches in Mayville, 3.5 in Cattaraugus, 3 inches in DeWittville, 2.8 in Gary, 1.8 here in town, and 1 inch in Falconer. So, yeah, just when you think winter is over, it comes back and slaps you. And so here's what's going on with the radar. We're still dealing with these lake effect snow showers across the region, but notice how they're sagging southward now. So basically Warren County, you're starting to deal with some of this lake effect snow. It's sagging south, but we still are going to deal with some more lake snow showers through the afternoon. Winter weather advisory stays in place for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties until 2 o'clock this afternoon, 4 o'clock for Erie County, Pennsylvania. And boy, it was cold yesterday. 26 was the high. We started the day at 13, 80 and 2 are the records, nowhere near that today. So through the afternoon, scattered light lake effect snow showers are going to continue. Very cold. We'll pick up an additional 1 to 2 inches today, 19 to 25. The average high is in the mid-40s with a northwest wind 10 to 20. So that's going to produce a wind chill index. But temperatures go up again as we go through the later part of the week. We'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, see you back in a bit. Our coverage of the Ukrainian refugee crisis continues, and we've shown you how people from all over the world have dropped everything to go to Poland to help the refugees. And today, one Chautauqua County woman shows us how she's stepping up to the plate. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports from near the Ukrainian border.
Like I'm going to do it because I've done it so far and I haven't had any problems doing it. So.
Sally Netzger-Bayer lives in Chautauqua County, New York. She helps run a gift shop inside an Asheville store. But now, her job looks a bit different. She's in Poland driving military vests and relief supplies into Ukraine.
Well, which way? Around?
Yeah. She estimates she's brought in roughly 100 military vests into Ukraine and eager to deliver more.
Number one thing asked for in Ukraine is a military vest. Number one. And then medical aid.
And never returns to Poland empty-handed. She'll fill her van with as many refugees as possible, but she can't recall as to how many she's helped escort over the border.
You take people from Lviv, from another, they come from, for example, from Mariupol, come to Lviv because they're safe. Then we come to Lviv and take these people and come to Poland. So we just help people, that's all.
She's getting some help from Valentina Filippo and her husband. Both are from Ukraine and are living in Poland. They'll meet up at an Eastern Poland hair salon to coordinate their plans for the day before they head out. And sometimes Filippo, who is 7 months pregnant with her first child, will help make runs with Netzger Bayer.
I feel good, all is good. I'm happy that I have a baby, and my baby comes soon, 2 months. So, and he not make for me any problem. He with me go driver and something like that. When I go rest, he push me and say, "Mama, not rest. You need to help people more."
She essentially has two roles here in Poland. The first is transporting supplies and other materials. The second is the humanitarian side, bringing back Ukrainian refugees over to Poland, as well as making sure they have a place to stay. Netzger Bayer has helped place more than 28 refugees, including kids, in this makeshift home. For privacy reasons, we're not showing the Ukrainian refugees, but she says they are still working to furnish the place. In the van with Netzger Bayer, she says all of this relief work just falls into place.
We made relationships with, not intentionally, like none of this is like intentional. It's kind of like, you know, there's this God thing kind of floating above that makes us all come together, in my opinion.
In Rzeszów, Poland, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Our crews in Poland will continue their coverage of the refugee crisis. The Chautauqua County woman is also raising funds to help pay for gas for their supply van, as well as helping furnish that house for those refugees. We'll have info on how you can help posted online at WNYNewsNow.com. New York State's Comptroller is urging the Frewsburg Central School District to tighten up their financial management policies after a school treasurer admitted to stealing thousands of dollars raised by students. Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli and Chautauqua County's DA announced back in January 27-year-old Angela Schmolder attempted to conceal her theft by substituting the stolen funds with checks from the district's retirees' health insurance account, among other things. Schmolder pled guilty to petty larceny, that a Class A misdemeanor, and paid full restitution to the district. Last week, the state comptroller released findings of an over 16-month probe into the district. He says that from July 2018 to October of 19, the treasurer lacked adequate oversight, which ultimately led to the theft. In order to better manage the finances in the future, he recommends the district ensure all money is deposited intact and in a timely manner, complete proper monthly bank reconciliations, and properly report that activity to the Board of Education. And new statistics from the U.S. Census Bureau is expanding explanation of Chautauqua County's population loss. Last summer, the agency released findings for the 2020 census, reporting that Chautauqua County's total population decreased by 7,000 people over the past decade. From 2010 to 2020, the county lost 5.9% of its population, while the city of Jamestown lost 6.7%. In the last year alone, the county lost 850 people, with a current estimated population of around 126,800. In an expanded funding announcement this week, officials cited natural population decrease as the primary cause here. They go on to say that's when more deaths than births generally occur. Now, this is not only a local trend, but a national one, too. The agency saying more than 70% of counties nationwide also saw a natural population decrease. A new program to help homeowners make repairs to their properties in Jamestown is getting underway, with a big allotment of federal funding making that initiative possible. Our Bronson Rasmussen picks up the story from the newsroom. Bronson?
Director of Development Crystal Surdick explained to us that some of the American Rescue Plan Act and U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development allocated money is going towards the Home Investment Partnership Program.
Every year we get, I'll say roughly $400,000 from HUD for this program specifically. This program is limited to homeowners. So a homeowner can apply. There's a bunch of different criteria they have to meet. Income eligibility is one of those criteria.
Qualifying factors include owning a home for at least 2 years, and the applicants must have valid insurance on their homes.
Once they apply, we do an inspection of the property, and it really looks at the house as a whole. And so, the program is really meant to be a whole home repair and rehabilitation.
The time to make quality home repairs could be a lengthy process, Surdick explains, but it will be worth it in the end.
It is a process, and it does take quite a bit of time from beginning to end, but it's something that is definitely worth it. And we want to make sure that homeowners know that they do have this available to them.
For those who might be afraid to apply for help due to the fear of multiple code violations, for example, CERTIC says to just call the Department of Development and talk about your options.
This program will actually allow us to rehabilitate your home to the place where it is free of all code violations. So if you have concerns that your home has code violations, we can help you take care of that.
In total, the City of Jamestown has been allocated over $1.2 million in HUD and ARPA funds to use for many different programs, including the Home Investment Partnership Program and the Annual Action Plan. In the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. A public hearing with more information will be held tonight at 7 o'clock in the City Council chambers at City Hall. Those who could not attend are also able to submit their comments in writing to the Department of Development. Now, following that hearing, lawmakers are slated to approve the funding. As WNY News Now continues, the movement to get a new art studio along the Jamestown Riverwalk now underway. And later, Governor Hochul has stopped evading questions about bail reform in New York. Hear her remarks coming up. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Progress to create a new art studio on the Jamestown Riverwalk is taking a step forward. Local leaders with the City of Jamestown announced Friday they, along with the Resource Center, received a $195,000 grant from Empire State Development. That money will be allocated to help build the Edgewater Art House project. Located on 8th Street near McCrae Point Park, the facility aims to help connect those with disabilities to art. Repurposing a storage garage, the indoor and outdoor art studio will also be open to the public. Classes would include activities like painting and drawing. They would also be a gallery space to showcase art. Groundbreaking could take place as soon as this spring. And the Seneca Nation of Indians is sounding off, saying New York State overreached in recent legal action. The nation's president, Matthew Peglis, in a statement over the weekend, announced that the state served a subpoena to the nation's gaming corporation bank accounts so they could not conduct banking transactions. That actions, he goes on to say, hurts their ability to provide basic services. The nation and state are currently at odds over casino revenue, with New York officials claiming the Senecas need to remit payment.
The nation has recently retained a leading national expert in Indian gaming law and policy. He will help us with our ongoing review and analysis of this current situation, as well as our preparations to a fair compact that properly addresses our rights and our concerns and ultimately secures the future of our gaming business, which is, of course, our highest priority.
The nation's council is set to meet today to discuss next steps in that process. With the deadline for the state budget just days away, Governor Kathy Hochul has finally stopped evading questions about bail reform, shedding light on the plan ahead. GOP lawmakers in the state are also firing back about the proposal. Julia Gress reports.
On Friday, the governor spoke to the Albany Press Corps about her leaked public safety plan and how discourse on the subject from both sides of the aisle means she is headed in the right direction.
I think that's the sign that you're in the right place.
Though the aim of the 2019 law was to eradicate the way race and financial status affected the criminal justice system, it has not done anything to discourage the increasing crime rates seen nationwide. In an op-ed by the governor and lieutenant governor, public safety concerns remained at the forefront of the bail reform discussion, explaining that while the reforms were successful in their original task, they are not yet perfect.
This is not about undoing bail reform. It's about finding areas we can strengthen it, make it work for people.
The governor believes the problem of repeat offenders on pretrial release, making gun crimes bail eligible, and setting more restrictive pretrial conditions for those gun crimes must be addressed to combat the wave of violence being seen in the state. Additionally, increasing funds for mental health services and easing the transition back into society from serving time is on the governor's proposed safety plan in an effort to prevent crimes before they happen. Despite Hochul's claims that her plan is comprehensive from both sides of the issue, New York GOP Chairman Nick Langworthy announced a Freedom of Information law request into Hochul's administration on all communications related to bail reform.
Public safety is on the ballot this November, and the people of this state have a right to know who their governor is talking to and what she is saying about bail reform.
According to Langworthy, Hochul only admitted to the faults of bail reform when she realized it could cost her an election.
Kathy Hochul has talked a big game about wanting to be transparent. Well, let's see if she's serious about transparency. Or is this just another bullshit talking point that she's trying to dupe the voters with?
Should bail reform be overturned, Langworthy suggests a bipartisan approach to working out a new system. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
All right, Julia, thank you. Election 2022 news now, and Democratic U.S. Rep. Hackman Jeffers is now endorsing Governor Kathy Hochul in the New York State governor's race. Jeffers, he represents Brooklyn and Queens, said in a statement yesterday that Hochul is a, quote, tireless advocate for all New Yorkers. Jeffers is seen as a strong contender to succeed Nancy Pelosi as the top Democratic lawmaker in the U.S. House, among the most influential members of New York's congressional delegation. 10 other Democratic members in New York State's House have also endorsed Hochul, who became governor in August when then-Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned. Also running in the Democratic primary is Representative Tom Saluki, who represents Long Island, and has hammered Hochul for not doing more to address crime levels across New York City. And New York State's Unified Teachers is calling for $100 million to increase the number of community schools statewide. Officials highlighted the success of Elmira's community school in helping students and families address the challenges they faced during the pandemic during a visit there Friday. The Elmira City School District offers resources included, but not limited to, on-site health care, after-school and summer programming, mentor programming, and a weekend vacation food backpack program. Expanding the number of community schools is an essential part of that union's Future Forward campaign. Currently, fewer than 300 out of more than 700 school districts use community school models across the Empire State. Coming up, the first cases of bird flu have been reported in Pennsylvania, and later a scandal at the Oscars which ended in an actor getting slapped. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now. your source for breaking news.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
It's spring. Why is it snowing? Okay. Let's take a look at the Mayville Skycam, and you can see there's no snow in Mayville right now, but it's a typical wintertime sky out there with a few clouds dotting the sky. Now let's take a look at the snow data at the airport. We have 1 inch of snow on the ground at the airport, so our total for the month is 12.3 inches. We're down a little bit, a couple of inches. We should be around 14.5. Seasonal total 18.9. We're still running below average for snowfall for the season, and we'll probably end 2022, or at least this winter season, a bit below average in terms of the snowfall. The snow is kind of tapered off downtown right now, but yeah, it's cold. 17, a north wind of 20, a wind gust of 25. Look at the wind chill. A goose egg. And take a look at the wind chill numbers across the region. 0 here in town, also in Warren, 1 below Sheffield, 5 above in Randolph, 2 below in Warren, and 2 above in Fredonia, also 2 below in Clymer. So not only are the temperatures a good 25 to 30 degrees below normal, when you factor in the strong west to northwest wind, this is what it feels like outside. It feels more like the dead of winter. And this is going to continue through the day today, so I'm sorry to say that. So a winter weather advisory stays in place for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties until 2 o'clock this afternoon. The winter weather advisory for the Erie County, Pennsylvania goes until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So the lake snow has started to sag southward. As a matter of fact, there actually is a snow squall warning out for Warren County that expires at 12:45. And this is for these quick hitting blasts of snow showers that are moving on through. And along with the winds that could cause some blowing snow, drifting snow. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling to Warren today. But you can see where all this is coming from. It's all hooked up from the upper Great Lakes, and we're seeing that moisture surging on in from Lake Huron, and that is adding to Lake Erie. So here's the newest run of future scan, still painting some scattered lake effect snow showers through the afternoon and through the evening. As we go through the overnight hours, the snow will start to taper off, so I do think by the time we go through the overnight, partly cloudy. Tomorrow should be a nice day, partly to mostly sunny on average through the day on Tuesday, so at least it'll be a dry day. Temperatures do come up a little bit, but we're still going to be below average. And then by the time as we head into Wednesday, we're going to see the next storm system arriving, which will bring in a chance for more rain and snow showers. So snowfall totals going all the way through early Wednesday morning. Yeah, we're looking at about an additional inch or so by Wednesday morning. So 10 to 20 tonight, another cold night. The snow diminishes. Now the next 7, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So 32 tomorrow, up to 50 on Wednesday, maybe a couple thunder showers on Thursday, and then the weekend looking dry, Justin.
All right, thanks, Dakota. Around the nation now, the first case of the avian influenza virus has been detected in PA. The Game Commission announced that last week. It was discovered in a wild bald eagle that was found dead in Marlborough Township. That's in Chester County. Diagnostics are pending on 5 other wild birds recovered from Kale Lake on the border of Clarion and Venango counties. 4 were found dead, and the 5th was exhibiting neurological signs and was subsequently euthanized. As of March, the avian influenza outbreak has impacted domestic or wild birds in more than 20 states across the eastern and midwestern country. The House Select Committee has filed contempt of Congress reports for Trump's White House aides Dan Scavino and Peter Navarro. Both men have declined to testify before the committee investigating the January 6th attack at the Capitol. Squall served as Deputy White House Commissioner of Staff and was one of former President Trump's most loyal allies. Peter Navarro has been very public about his attempts to overturn the election. The criminal referral for both former President Trump's advisor comes ahead of the committee's planned meeting today. Steve Bannon faces a criminal trial this summer for his refusal to testify in that. And perhaps the most viral moment at the Oscars also left everybody a little bit confused. Will Smith appeared to get into an altercation with Chris Rock. It started with a joke, but then got serious. While presenting the Best Documentary Award, Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. The actress has been open about her struggle with alopecia, an autoimmune disorder that leads to hair loss. Smith appeared to laugh at first, but then he walked up on stage and hit the comedian in the face. Smith yelled, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." The Dolby Theater went silent, and Chris Rock appeared stunned, as you see there. Smith later won Best Actor for his role in King Richard. He apologized in a tearful speech and said he hopes the Academy welcomes him back. The Academy later tweeted a statement saying it does not condone violence in any form. Next, we check in with plans for this year's Warren County Fair, who announced a big change last week: no carnival rides.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
With most COVID restrictions lifted, dozens of fairs and festivals will be returning to our region this summer. But one thing that won't return: rides at Warren County Fair. Erie News Now's Ethan Kibbe learned why rides won't be back this year and what you can expect if you head to the fairgrounds in August.
After surviving 2020 with no fair, Warren Fair Board President Dale Bliss thought he and his team had come through the pandemic in great shape.
The 2021 fair was historically one of the best fairs we've ever had, both financially, attendance, all that good stuff. So we were on a bit of a roll, we thought.
But late last year, just months after their best fair ever, Bliss took a call that stopped that momentum in its tracks.
Our longtime carnival company merged with another one and told us we wouldn't be back. So we put a team together, and every day, literally since, we've been trying to replace that carnival and just aren't able to do so.
Bliss says the pandemic decimated the industry, and they've called every ride company in the country, but no matter the size, no one has room for another fair.
Pre-COVID, there were about 600 carnival companies in the United States. Post-COVID, because of financial constraints, etc., wages, things like that, now there are only 200.
Losing the rides is a huge financial blow, and although the Fair Board will find other attractions, Bliss said ride revenue is impossible to replace.
I would expect we'd still have the carnival games and the food concessions, and there will be attractions down there to hopefully mitigate not having those rides.
But he says they have some money saved, and they'll get through this year as they plan some huge events for the years ahead.
We've got about a half a dozen carnivals, what we would deem good quality, that are waiting to come and play us for 2023 and beyond. So the future is bright.
Ethan Kibbe reporting. Ethan, thank you. Now, last year, when the Crawford County Fair had to scale back its plans, county commissioners there gave the Fair Board money to stay afloat. Bliss says it's too early to tell whether Warren County's Fair Board would ask for help from their local government. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated on that. Nevertheless, good to have the fair back. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now today. That's going to do it for us. Of course, we remind you to stay connected wherever you go across all sorts of social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. At WNY News Now is where the conversation continues. And when you're on the go, it's easy to stay in the know with our free mobile app. Just search WNY News Now, Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Have a great day.